can you mine every single block in Terraria? Which was a question I had many years ago, back when all I had was this terrible tablet that I used to play Terraria on. And obviously little old me never actually got around to doing so. But I still had that question in my mind and I decided to find out. Now if you're also like me and you had this question, you've probably gone ahead and googled it. Only to find a bunch of people telling you that it would take 7 billion years to mine the entire world using a copper pickaxe. Well, no shit! Okay, so obviously I'm not going to use a copper pickaxe. But I'm also not going to use any of the luminite pickaxes. Well, mostly. You see, what I am going to use is a drill containment unit. And yes, I know the drill containment unit is not technically a pickaxe. It's more or less just a mount that actually drills stuff. But it's the fastest mining tool in the game. I mean, it's not this fast. But it's still very fast, and with that I think mining the entire world will actually be doable. Now I believe the drill containment unit can mine every single block in the game, no problem. However, it's probably going to struggle with chests. However, I have a plan for chests. You see, you can't actually mine blocks underneath a chest or the chest if the chest has items in it. But if you get rid of the items, then you can mine the blocks under the chest. And so all I have to do is open the chest and delete the items, and then I can mine a chest. Simple, right? Yes, except for every chest that has a key, because, well, key chests are going to require me to have a key to actually open the chest. But luckily there aren't that many. There are only the golden chests in the dungeon and the shadow chests in hell. But there are 5 chests, well technically 6, but you only get 5 in the world because there's only 1 corruption in that. Doesn't matter. The biome chests, they're gonna be annoying. But Iron, all you're gonna need is the biome chest key. It'll be fine, it won't be that hard. Well, no. I mean, first of all, getting the biome keys was actually a bit of a pain. It took me a day to get all the keys. And I didn't actually know that only one of the corruption chests could actually spawn in the world. I was trying my hardest to get a crimson key. Turns out, didn't need it. Didn't need it. So I wasted my entire time doing that. But whatever. Forgetting all of that, in order to actually use a biome key in a world, Plantera has to be dead. Which seems like no biggie, but in order for that to actually happen, you need to be in hard mode, all the mechanical bosses need to be dead, and then the Plantera bulb will spawn. Which means at the very start of the playthrough, I'm going to have to dig to hell, kill the wall of flesh, then go back up, kill every single mechanical boss, and then kill Plantera, just so I can open 5 chests and mine 10 blocks. But also don't forget, not only that, I've also got to fight Skeletron so I can actually access the dungeon without getting my head ripped off. Okay, so that means what I'm going to need going into this run is obviously the drill containment unit so I can actually mine blocks, a bunch of golden keys so I can actually open the chests in the dungeon and get rid of them, 1 shadow key so I can actually open the chests in hell and get rid of them, every single biome key so I can actually open the biome chests and get rid of them, as well as a voodoo ragdoll so I can spawn the wall of flesh and kill him. And then lastly, I'm going to need every single mechanical boss summon so I can summon the mechanical bosses and kill them, so that I can then spawn the Plantera bulbs and kill them, so then I can actually open the biome chests. Okay, that sounds like a lot, but when you really think about it, it's not that much. Okay, so with all of that done, let's just get straight into mining the world. Okay, I'm going to be frankly honest with you, I'm not going to show the entire time-lapse in this video, because it took me 22 hours to actually mine the entire world. And frankly, the best I can do is get that time-lapse down to about 30 minutes. But fear not, if you do actually want to watch the full time-lapse, there should be a video going out at the same time that this video is going out, which includes the full time-lapse along with some NCS music. So if you want to see that, there should be a link in the description, there should be an info card, and it should also be on my channel. It shouldn't be too hard to find if you do want to go watch that. Anyway, when it came to actually mining the world itself, I did actually have a bit of a plan. Now obviously when I first joined the game, the first thing I did was go and kill the wall of flesh, and then, you know, so I can unlock the biome keys and all that nonsense. Okay, so what I first did is I went to the Sky Islands, got rid of them first, because my plan was to go layer by layer, top to bottom. And the reason for this is because of water level and lava level. You see, the thing is, drill containment unit has a pretty decent range, but water slows you down when you're in it, even when you're in the drill containment unit, which is kind of annoying. So I figured that because of how wide the world is, the chances are the water level is never going to be too high, that I can stay above it while still mining the floor, which is what I wanted to do. But I realized that the Terraria world isn't flat, it's mountainous and hilliness, so if I wanted to go layer by layer, I'd have to flatten it, which is what I did. So I dug a baseline, and then I just flattened to that baseline, by going chunk by chunk, which I realized later on was actually a lot faster than just going layer by layer across the entire world. And so that's what I did. I switched from going layer by layer to going chunk by chunk, which I don't know if it was actually faster, but it definitely seems faster. Now, if you actually watch the time lapse, you'll probably wonder why halfway through I decided to just start mining the hell out. And that's because, if you noticed, I also did the size of the world as well. I completely did obliterate the size of the world before going, and that was so that water could flow into hell. I realized that maybe if I get rid of hell, it'll give a nice open space for all the liquid, lava, water to just rest in. But I mean, I kind of overestimated how big hell is, because I expected hell to be completely full of lava. It just didn't get full with lava. I also forgot to mention, but I did actually bring a lot of obsidian potions so that I didn't have any problem with lava as well. And so that was it. After 22 hours of going chunk by chunk, I did in fact manage to actually delete the entire world. Now, I obviously didn't do that all in one sitting, but yeah, that was probably the most boringest thing I've ever done.